normally have a live show on a Monday, but because of Flow, our internet provider, we were unable to have the show yesterday. But we're here today and we're here in live and living colors and have a very interesting show tonight. I have here with me Shakes, and as you know, I'm the host, Levon. Hopefully, I have a few other analysts as we go on, but for now, both of us will be rocking. Tonight's show is brought to you by Let's Care Medical. Let's Care Medical, visit them at shop number 5 Juicy Plaza, Mandeville, and the telephone number is 532-6095 494-8884. And once again, thanks to their CEO Shakes for sponsoring the show. Without Shakes, this wouldn't be possible either. And without Josh, our producer, this wouldn't be possible. So, guys, tonight we have a packed show for you. We're going to speak about some EPL action that took place over the weekend and some that took place earlier on today. And also, we'll be speaking about some transfer issues because I know a lot of people are actually interested in the transfer news. So, Shakes, how you do, boss, man?
I'm good enough. Happy. Got 3 points today.
3 points with 9 goals, eh?
And Arsenal lost.
So it was a perfect day for you, I guess.
Yep, indeed.
So over the weekend, first we saw Everton taking on Newcastle, a match that we had expected that Everton would have won based on the turmoil that Newcastle are in, and with Steve Bruce playing some atrocious ball game, some ball game that leaves you thinking that what is this man doing in that job? But guess what? He actually shocked us and they beat a poor Everton side by 2-0. Callum Wilson on the score sheet twice. What you saw that, Shakes?
Boy, you know, it's like every single time I mention a manager doing bad, like the following show, they come with a victory. First it was Chris Wilder, right? Now it's Steve Bruce, because I was making fun that Frank Lampard can get a job, can take over from Steve Bruce. Like he heard me and he decided to go out and win a game. They didn't play bad in that game. Everton hot and cold. I think it was more down to the lack of play by Everton. So the intensity wasn't there from Everton. So Newcastle basically realized this and they were able to capitalize. They got Wilson should have had a hat-trick on the day. Got a good first goal. For the second goal, it was just a nice finish. A good 2-0. I would say it was a result that they desperately needed to move slightly away from the relegation zone.
In the next fixture, we saw Crystal Palace taking on Wolves, a match that was tightly contested. Wolves had a chance to get an equalizer, but it was not their night to be. Ebreke Eze once again on the score sheet, and there are lots of calls by Roy Hodgson himself that this man deserves an English call-up. Do you agree with that narrative, Shakes?
Boy, so all right, let me state this. So England is like one of the few countries that give out debuts to everybody. You don't really have to have much quality to get a debut for the English team, because it's like they want to cap everybody, they tying everybody down, right? But you know that FIFA have a rule that they have to play a certain number of games for them to be tied to the nation. So one game alone, I don't think ties them down to England or any particular nation. But yes, Hudson is definitely going to call for him. Why? Because he's a young player. From what I've seen, he's slightly skillful. He can beat a man. He has good pace. But really and truly, is he a starter in the English team? Is he even good enough to make the bench? Or they're just doing it based on sentiments and just trying to cap everybody? I don't know.
I remember that Hudson is actually one calling for him to be captain. It's not the English media that is pushing the narrative, right? So it's more Hudson than anything else, because to be honest, he has been a revelation for them this season.
Yeah, man, as in he has been in good form, you know. But you see, for me, I believe that consistency should be rewarded with you earning caps versus, oh, you're having a good half a season or you're having a few good months and you automatically get a cap. I prefer you be consistent for a season at least, right? If you come up with some breakout wonderful season, then no problem. At that point, you can actually have the person on the bench depending on how well they are doing at the time. Then maybe they can be a starter. But what, you just going to put him on and then probably throw him on in the 80th minute? Is that a real cap? It
Agreed
isn't.
upon, because as I mentioned that in the shakes, I remember the other day when I think Jamaica was trying to go after Calvin Phillips and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And
All
as
right.
the news keep on pushing, they
I'm
went
glad
ahead
you
and
brought that
kept
up.
both of them. And see, from that,
All right.
Calvin
So
Phillips
I'm
and
I'm
Maitland-Niles
glad you brought
classified.
that up because when you look on it, look at Calvin Phillips at at
Leeds.
Leeds now in the EPL. You realize it's a different ball game. He was outstanding for them in the championship, but he came over with quote unquote decent form, right? But if you realize he has declined as Leeds has declined just the same, right? So him getting that cap was just because Jamaica wanted him. You think that Calvin Phillips going, even for the Euro that is coming up, if it is held, you think that Calvin going to make that team
Declan Rice has that
based
spot
on
nailed
form?
down, man.
Huh?
Declan Rice has that spot nailed down for him.
All right. So he just has a cap or some caps for no reason. He will now have to look to the future, hope for a bigger move at the end of the day. But you see, when they get the caps, apparently they get more money.
Wow.
Yes, apparently so. So they end up with better contracts.
Okay. So, all right, we'll move on from that, and then we saw Man City getting a 1-0 victory over dogged Sheffield United. They actually dug in that match because, for most part, City was all over them, but they had chances as well in which they failed to capitalize on. Jason, quickly, because I think you have some stats on that match.
Maybe not. For that game, City dug in, but I think probably the biggest stat out of that game is that whenever Gabriel Jesus scores, City has never lost a game. So that is where, so I guess for City fans in general, once they hear Gabriel Jesus on a score sheet, they can rest assured that yeah, um, they won't be beaten. But the comment was made, I think it was by Shakes, where you can clearly see where they, the players are literally trying to play for Chris Wilder. You could see it in the performance. So, but Pep really dug out that one. So it was, I expected 3 points for City, but probably not in the manner in which they got it.
I can just add a little bit about Sheffield. So if you realize Sheffield has not been beaten by no bag of goals by any team in the EPL. That's the good thing to look at for Sheffield from the beginning of the season. So that is why they have stuck with Wilder.
But all right, next up we saw West Brom taking on Fulham, and shout out to Bobby Reed, the Jamaican, once again scoring. But
Yeah,
dogged performance from West Brom again. They dug in after going behind, and they ended up getting a 12 draw. Fulham was back on the drawing board again, as we expected, and as we said on the show that Fulham, all they're known for this season is just draw, 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 and they're drawing their way to the bottom of the Premier League, because currently Sheffield is on 11 points. Memory serve me correct, I think the side above them is
West,
on 12,
yeah, West Brom is a point above. Yeah.
and then Fulham is on 14. So it's worrying times for Scott Parker. They need to get their act together, or else back down to the championship for them. And they went out in the transfer window and they signed Josh Maha from Bordeaux. Don't know how well that player will be for them, because it didn't work out well for him at Sunderland, but he went away to France. Hopefully he has developed somewhat, even though I watched him for Bordeaux and he was average same way, so don't know how much of an help he'll be to them. But to Alger, we expected that and we always spend time on that. Next up was Arsenal taking on Man United, and I said it, Jason said it, We got a lot of stick for it from United fans that were being negative, but we said that this match would have drawn based on United form against the perennial top 6 teams this season. Then, as I said, a lot of fans say, "Oh, you're too negative, come out of negative mindset." But no, we're just being realistic. Shakes, go ahead.
Yeah, so expected result. I had hope for better because, as you pointed out, we have had bad results, quote unquote, or negative results against the top six. So, boy, it's like you say, oh, your day must come. So I was hoping that that day was gonna be Saturday gone, especially because you were playing away from home, right? But for some strange reason, Man U just decided that they never want to win that game. Both teams had chances. Man U with the better chances, I believe. Yes, Arsenal they hit the, was it the post or crossbar? One of them.
The
Um,
crossbar,
the
Lacazette
crossbar,
hit.
yes. Yeah. But outside of that, I believe that Manchester United had the better chances. They should have gone on and won that game at least 2-1 if I give in both teams goals, right? So I believe that it's a missed opportunity at the end of the day.
Um, Next up, we saw Southampton taking on Aston Villa, a rather controversial match because a lot of people are giving VAR a lot of stick because they ruled out a goal for Southampton that would have provided an equalizer. But Aston Villa getting a 1-0 victory, Ross Barkley on the score sheet, and are that they are working overtime to sign Ross Barkley permanently because he has been a revelation for them. So hopefully Chelsea won't try to stick up the man there for too much money and just let the ball out, get some freedom. But Jason, I think you saw that match. What's your take?
Um, Boy, Ralph Hasenhuttl himself must be kicking himself. Um, but we're getting to that later after today. But for that match specifically, Matty Cash, because I think in the first half there was a handball decision that didn't go Southampton's way either. So Southampton will feel aggrieved at the officiating. Um, Not taking away from Villa though, that was a very good header from Rosberg. Keeper just never moved. It was excellent play by Grealish on the left, again involved in a Villa goal. Um, Villa took the points again. Southampton we feel aggrieved at this officiating. So um, I guess it's Southampton in free fall because that just continues. I mean, they had a very good start at the beginning of the season, but they've just dropped off. But I think it's the injuries. They've really, I think, I know we'll touch on that later, but even with today, like Redman was the only senior player that was named on the bench. So they've been
But
having
hold
problems
on a
with
second
personnel.
though, Jason. You know who they miss the most? Yannick Vestergaard.
Vestergaard, Vestergaard. Yes, his presence beside
They got no real
Bednarek.
defense.
Yeah, beside Bednarek is key for them, or has been key. But I mean, between him and Oriol Romeo as well, I think they've missed him in midfield. So trust me, they just need to
They
get
missed some
their
key
injured
players.
players back. Yeah. So
Next up we saw Chelsea taking on Burnley, and what a goal that was from Marcos Alonso. Yeah, he's known for his attacking ability, but in terms of his defensive capabilities, that's where the question signs are. But
yeah.
brilliant to take in goal, and the people are saying that it's actually in the goal of the season contenders so far. Well said. You disagree?
No, no, no
It
one,
was like,
no one,
go
no,
ahead.
no one, no one call out the Chelsea fans a bit because I see a lot of them referring to him as Alan Slow. No, we all know that we all know that he isn't blessed with blistering face, and Lampard must have a bit of egg on his face right now to know that him leave him out since September. He's been on the fringes, and Tuchel
First game
came
back.
in. He's giving everybody a chance to impress himself. And Alonso, for somebody who didn't play for so long, to actually coming and putting. We know it was against Burnley, and Burnley was poor on the day, in my estimation. They didn't have a shot until the 94th minute. But I mean, overall, he put in a good performance. So a lot of people, of course, would say, Alonso can be over Chilwell. And I mean, I'd be inclined to agree, but I wouldn't
Repeat
think
that,
he's
Jason. I
that
didn't get
bad.
it.
I said a lot of fans, Chelsea fans, would clamor for Ben Chilwell to be over Alonso, of
Yeah,
course.
man. Yeah, man.
But and I would be inclined to agree, but I don't think he's been that bad, especially not for Lampard to leave him out since September.
So next up, we saw Leicester taking on Leeds United, a result that shocked a lot of us because we never expected that Leeds would have put 3 past Leicester, even with Leicester going ahead. But it was the show of Mr. Patrick Bamford himself. He had a ball and he had a brilliant goal. He had a hand in all 3 goals that were scored, and he was a
Yeah,
constant menace for that Leicester backline, in which I was surprised that they were all over the place. It was one of the worst match I've seen Fofana played since he has signed for Leicester. He was out
yeah.
of position more often than not, and as I said, 3-1 victory for Leeds United. Bones.
Good night, everyone. Sorry for being late. Yeah, it was a shocking result. I certainly didn't expect the result to have gone the way it has gone. But if we are going to go by what Demo says, then Mr. Brendan Rodgers is always a choker. And he's probably choking and just choking, keeps choking. It was an opportunity for them, I think, to really step up in the league, and they really threw it away. But it is just the brilliance of the Premier League minus the referees. It's just the brilliance of the Premier League minus every single referee in the league. Good performance by Leeds. It's really shocking that Leicester couldn't get the win, but Leeds certainly deserve the win. So congrats to them and Leicester, and
I just
congrats to all the referees in the Premier League as well.
I just want to echo. I just want to echo a statement that Lavan made earlier about Patrick Bamford. No, he has played 20 Premier League games for Leeds now, and he has 11 goals in those 20 Premier League games, and he's in illustrious company because only I believe Mark Viduka, Tony Yeboah, and Robbie
Getting a
Fowler.
feedback in one of your guys' background. Alright, go
You
ahead,
know,
Jason.
yeah, only Tony Yeboah, Robbie Fowler, and Mark Viduka had more goals in their first 20 games than Patrick Bamford, so he's in elite company, and he certainly took his chance.
Another stat for the people that are interested in these sort of things. Patrick Bamford for Leeds last season, I believe he played like 40 odd games in the championship and had like only 16 goals. So to be in the Premier League and play 20 and score 11, he has done fairly well because you know that the step up in quality and all that. So
Can I
shout
add
out to
this too
Bamford.
about him? Right? He has the most misses in the EPL.
Yeah, he
It was
does.
it was the same thing last season in the championship
So
because he
just
had like what?
imagine, yeah, man, he had a poor conversion rate last year. I think it was about 13%, right? And it's probably about 16% right now. So just imagine if he was taking some of those chances, he
But
literally would be leading
but Shakes,
the
guess what
Golden
also?
Boot race.
Guess what also that I found funny? He did a interview after the match and he said that he removed himself from his fantasy team because he was being so poor. And the same week he removed
Aside,
himself as captain.
But you see, but but,
aside,
but,
This is
but,
big
but
smoke.
that's a man that looks within himself and knows that, oh,
I,
but I
yeah,
should be doing better because
yes,
I'm ending up in good positions to be finishing. I just not taking the
yeah.
chances.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
But then,
But
yeah.
but then
as we
he,
pointed out
he
in an early show though, Shakes, I'm not sure if you were on the panel at that time. A lot of the misses that I'm with Bamford, right? You're saying that he's a top professional and all that, but is it because of how Leeds tend to play with that high pressing game? He's always chasing. So you see by the time he get in the position to actually put the ball into the net, the
Also, you
brain
think
goes
that's
with
why
him.
he doesn't know, man. But you see why I wouldn't use that? Because guess what? If you press, you win the ball. If you get a chance, but you miss, okay. But if you're going to use fatigue or him being tired, then why is he pressing right after that? If he's tired, so
if
I
I
That
can
wouldn't
was
say,
the argument that
yeah,
was posited.
I wouldn't use that.
All right, so
you can.
finish up, Jason, quick.
Oh, I just did I say you can take the game against us, for example, the 6-2, because he had that golden chance later on. I
Yep.
think it was an air ball. I think it was an air ball, and
Nah,
then the
man, he
guy
had
dropped to
multiple
the floor.
chances, man. I remember
Yeah,
he got a free header against us as well, and he pushed it. So
yeah. I
let's
just
just
see
be
him game
fair.
that. Yeah.
Let's just be fair. Bam for that garbage. Let's move on. West Ham against Liverpool. We saw Liverpool winning back-to-back away games. They put 3 past West Ham. Mohamed Salah was at his devastating best in that match, but Curtis Jones, he was on the pitch for like what 30 odd seconds before he provided that assist for Salah. That a shout out to him, but I'm sure that Mr. Antonio has rescued West Ham quite a lot this season, but he was guilty of missing a chance in this match that would have put West Ham ahead. Didn't take it, and it was from that same play that Liverpool went down the other end and actually scored. And that third goal, man. No, not the third goal. It was second goal for Liverpool where it was bam. Alexander Hannah with a quarterback
Yeah.
pass to Shaqiri. Shaqiri with a
Salah's
one-time pass
goal
to
was
Salah and then
class.
easy. It was
It
a
was
clinic by them,
class.
man. It was a
It was
wonderful
class.
game, to be honest.
And the first touch by Salah to just absolutely brilliant.
But
Absolutely.
I,
The Liverpool
I,
man,
I,
not in. Go ahead, Jason.
no, I just like to point out for the Liverpool fans and everybody that it was a back-to-back away win, but all of their away wins have come in London this season. They haven't beaten a team away from home that doesn't play in London, so that's something that they'd want to improve on. But yeah, I echo that sentiment. That Salah's second goal, man, was absolute class. Trust me.
But back-to-back away wins, as you said, and they beat Tottenham the other day and then they beat West Ham. So, as I said, 2 London scalp. And they're looking forward to our next fixture tomorrow. But in a fixture that, if memory serves me correct, I think Bones came on here and said that he expected Tottenham to lose.
He
So,
did.
we have to give him a little props tonight.
All right, Bones. All right, Bones.
But guess what? He made that prediction solely because he's an Arsenal fan, not
Yeah, man,
because
we
he
know that
Alright,
it
Bones.
wasn't being rational.
exactly.
But
All right, Bones.
we saw Brighton beating Tottenham by a goal to nil. Bones, I'm sure that you were one happy fella in that moment.
Hey, that is the only game I watch apart from the Arsenal game over the week. And it was, yo, listen, I thought I was watching Barcelona versus Tottenham. Tottenham made more goal line saves than shots on target they had in the game.
Yeah.
Trust me. It was an absolutely brilliant performance by Brighton. That goal remind me of prime Arsene Wenger Arsenal. Honestly, that Brighton goal. Prime
Wow.
prime Arsene Wenger Arsenal. Man,
It's not just had to come in.
Him they
it was
just have to
something.
find a way to
It was something of brilliant. It was brilliant. But overall, Gareth Bale made a good save. And I think who was it again that made that brilliant goal line save? One of Tottenham's defenders, he made a brilliant goal line save, and it was a brilliant performance by Brighton, and they totally deserve it. I think that victory is probably going to be the big difference between Sheffield United staying up versus Brighton staying up. That win is going to be the difference. That win, honestly.
Alright, so Shakes, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The question is
Tip.
the question to you, Shakes. The question to you is alright. Gareth Bale.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that he's a
Don't bother.
player. Brother, why have to make it so blunt? So alright, let me just get straight to the point. A lot of people are saying that he's a done baller. Do you agree with that notion?
Don't bother.
Agreed?
Listen. Yeah, of course. Hold on. Let me tell you something. You see, Gareth Bale was never ever going to come back to the EPL and quote unquote be a very good player, even a good player.
Yeah.
He needs to go to a slower league to be able to.
So are you actually suggesting that he needs to go to Italy?
Go to Italy, go MLS, go French league, right? But it's pointless. Just think about it. Just think about it. Look on that Tottenham team. Outside of Song and Hurricane, yeah, he's injured now, but outside of those two players, name the other top forward that they have. All
Carlos
right,
Vinicius.
so all right, so we just wait until possibly make some future transfer happen, right? But there's nobody, and if he can't break into that team consistently to even, because I'm not just talking about that game, previous games, you realize that he wasn't coming off as a sub, as an impact sub. So it means that he's not doing enough in training to even come on as an impact sub. And it's not like Tottenham, they are top of the league or even in the top four. So their results have been poor and he has not been trusted by the manager to come on the field. But guess what? You see, when you're working with Mourinho too, it must go bad. So it is a combination of just bad ingredients. You see, Tottenham right now, I said it from a long time ago, not on this show, but long time. Tottenham ain't going nowhere with Jose Mourinho, right? Tottenham is just about Hurricane and Heung-min Son. Hurricane is not there, Son not going to do much.
So all right, shifts. I'm glad to touch on that, right? Question to you again. Do you think Hurricane is a player that lacks ambition?
In terms of what?
To still remain at Tottenham?
We're
We're
not
not
hearing
hearing you.
Too
We're not
loyal.
hearing you.
Yeah, man, he's too loyal. He was too loyal to Tottenham, right? He should never have signed that big deal. I think he signed a 5 or 6 year deal with Tottenham, where he basically got stuck. Where the only team that could buy him was PSG, and that is if they were willing to spend 200 million on him. Nobody else couldn't buy him, and we know. Just think about it. Look who is the director there, Daniel Levy. So you know, if you sign a long-term deal, you're basically pledging your allegiance to the team unless you develop some dramatic injury, some football threatening injury, or you run down your contract. But by the time his contract ends, he's gonna be past his best. Which top team going to really take Hurricane in 2 years' time? They're going to be looking to the future.
And
So
here's also reading Chelsea Bailey saying that yes, he does. Spurs ain't ever going to win anything. You should have left.
yeah, you should
Yeah,
have.
he should have left. He should have moved over to North London, the right side of North London a few years ago. Honestly.
Okay. I guess we're having that mad segment of the show. Here's
Years
Sheldon
ago.
Footy Campbell saying that yes, Kane have no ambition, and I won't stop saying that until him leave. I don't want to hear nothing about loyalty.
No one.
All right, so
we
we'll
want to add two things.
quickly, Jason.
Oh, me just want to add two things where Tottenham is concerned. Shakes touched on their dependence on Kane and Son. Kane and Son have scored like what 73% of Tottenham's goals this season. I think the only combination in Premier League history that has scored more than that is the old Sunderland duo of Niall Quinn and Kelvin Phillips, who scored 77% Sunderland's goals. With with at least one missing out of Kane and Son, Tottenham's away win percentage dropped from 50% all the way down to 7%. So we all know that once Kane got out injured, there was no way Tottenham could have had any real consistency. And Mourinho is just not a fan of the Amex Stadium. He's not. He lost there twice with United, and he lose with Tottenham now. So
3 in a row, Jason.
All right, so we'll move on from that. Demo, you joined the show late, so we'll give you 2 minutes to analyze your game, Liverpool against West Ham. So your take on that match?
Big up to everybody on the stream. Big up all Liverpool fans. Again, put some respect on the champions. So Liverpool again showing what we are made of, showing the quality of bounce back ability, and continues to show why we are champions and mentality monsters. After a rough period, as all teams went through, Liverpool went through the rough period, and it's now on the rise. And with that great centre back called Nat Phillips, who have been pushing for so long, starting the game, he was immense on the day. He is somebody who I've been saying should have been playing since Van Dijk, Gomez, and Matip went out. He should have been in the side, and you can see his dominance in the air. And for me, Mo Salah will get all the plaudits. He'll get because his goals were superb. Thiago will get a lot of credit as well because again, playing as the most advanced midfielder, he was doing bits, and he will get a lot of plaudits. But for me, Nathaniel Phillips was the man of the match, and I thought that we were superb. The first half wasn't that great. I think Mikel Antonio got the clearest opportunity when he tried to curl one around. Probably, usually he would have scored those, but West Ham, they just didn't see. They were showing Liverpool a lot more respect than I expected them to do because they were on great form, and I didn't expect them to be so timid.
But you know why though?
Mm.
David Moyes has never beaten Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, and it seemed like that continues to play on his mind because I expected them to be a lot more outgoing playing against Liverpool, especially seeing that it was a makeshift team. And Origi started with Shaqiri, and Firmino was on the bench and stuff.
Right.
And you had Henderson and Phillips at the back, and Ben Rama and Antonio. Like, come on, put some pressure on the makeshift centre backs. But it was good for me, and my team just ran riot. That second goal. Listen to me.
We spoke about it before it came out. It was absolutely fabulous.
Listen. You see, if we had some great goals today, and maybe those probably take it out of contention for goal of the season because we had some spectacular goals today. But that second goal was fabulous. And since we talk about it, it's fine. I'll just use the last 30 seconds to big up Nat Phillips. And I hope that he continues to play even with the centre backs that we have signed. And I'm sure you're going to get there. But big up Nat Phillips again. I respect Curtis Jones.
I was just about to ask you and I said, oh, I'm hear a big up Curtis
No,
Jones.
man, he might forget a special segment for himself. Curtis Jones with a pre-birthday assist. And he came on and he changed the game immediately. And that's what I expect from him. So it's just from strength to strength. Liverpool FC all the way. Big up.
All right, before we move on to the midweek fixtures, I have to give a shout out to Christoph Fuller. He's one of the fans of the show that has been tuning in from our YouTube handle. Christoph Fuller, big up yourself, man.
Yeah, man.
For those who are on the stream, just go over to the YouTube channel, Sports Frenzy. Just go over there same way. Still I got see the live, you still can comment, still I get read. So just support the thing. All right, so move on to the midweek fixtures, and we saw Sheffield United taking on West Brom, and it was a fixture that it was a 6-pointer in a sense. Both teams needed this victory, but guess what? Sheffield United needed it more, and guess what? Also, Chris Wilder has realized that he has one loyal soldier. He didn't trust him when he came up last season, but he has to rely on him now. That man's name is Billy Sharp. Billy Sharp has been bailing him out a lot this season, so now you have to turn back to the man. The man find the winner today.
And you just need to make them two guys apologize to the people for saying Chris Wilder will get fired, please and thank.
If he still get fired, them I go down 11 points behind Brighton. So until we prove otherwise.
The teams right now in the cellar, that's where they're going. They're going back to the championship. So
Exactly. 11 points behind Brighton. Come on.
But Dimo, you being a fan of Ryan Brewster, he hasn't scored for them yet, boss man. Yet that doesn't concern you.
No, that's not a concern. The thing is that the system that Sheffield plays will not give Brewster a ton of chances to score. It's just a system, and they were already on poor form coming into when they signed him. So it's like he has to fit into the system, and it's just not fitting in for him right now.
All right.
He's just fitting in with the system. The whole team wasn't playing well. You can't just single out Brewster and say he hasn't scored.
The championship to suit
Shakes, we're
him.
not hearing your shakes.
I'm saying the system will be adjusted in the championship to suit him.
Yeah, we said just like with Bournemouth and Dominic Solanke.
Exactly.
Exactly. Nothing different.
Power draw.
And guess what? Both of them were Liverpool, man.
Exactly.
All right, so a fixture that I'm absolutely bemused by. Trust me, man, I was over the moon today when I saw this result, man. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Arsenal 1. Trust me, man.
Let me
Trust
mute
me.
my mic. Hold on.
Arsenal is back.
The only reason I never commented on it was because I had a match afterwards, and I was like, I'm not going to say anything until my match is being played. But it's when I'm saying go up 1-0. So okay, expect Wolves to come back still doing it, still maintain the hope. They say,
You're
yo,
too
fight.
Levan. You never expect Wolves to come back.
Shakes. You can ask Josh Call if it wasn't from last night. That's a team that Wolves will beat Arsenal today.
Yeah,
Ask
man,
him.
that was just wishful dreaming.
It wasn't wishful, man. Wolves desperately need a victory, man. But yeah, Wolves 1-2-1, and I'm certain that a certain man is still crying up to this point because nobody can tell me otherwise now. That was the reason why this man reached the show late. The man was still crying, probably sobbing, and probably did just run out of toilet paper to wipe his tears.
You
So,
realize
yeah.
his hashtag he's saying since 2018, still strong. My God. Boy,
So,
Bones.
all right.
Bones is literally Bones.
The floor is all yours now, Bones.
Since 2018 was the last time Man U actually beat Arsenal in the Premier League. So that's why the still 2018 is there. That was
hold on. So since as you're trying to take a jab at us, right? Let me point this out. Remember that you, Sherwin Bones, came on here and said that Arsenal will not lose another game in the English Premier League. Don't think me forget that. They're talking about, we bounce back, we do this. Remember you said it, you know.
Levan him switch it to Europa League now. Europa.
I'm going to find a next cup.
All right, go ahead
under
now.
23 reserve team.
There's too much controversy surrounding the Europa League game with Benfica, so I'm not going to say.
All right, go ahead and discuss this match that is happening.
The Arsenal is still strong. It was a game that we should have been 3 or 4-0 up before the incident with David Luiz. I must congratulate full-heartedly Craig Dawson.
Awesome.
He is absolutely the best referee in England. And I must also big up his VAR assistant. He too is absolutely the best. Absolutely.
Tell them, Shakes.
I cannot differ to say how brilliant these refs in the Premier League.
All right, enough of the sarcasm. Cut to the chase.
It's not sarcasm. I'm just telling you the truth.
Sarcasm, man. We're way smarter than that.
I really appreciate all the referees in the Premier League, and Arsenal is still strong, and the Arsenal will bounce back. I thank you guys for having me tonight. God bless you.
All right, can I have a say on the Arsenal game?
Hold on those Shakes, because I forgot come Kim again in there. Do you remember a game earlier in the season when Gabriel Magalhaes made a tackle and he was already on a yellow card and he should have gotten another yellow card? You never came here and cry about say ref this and that, you know, so don't come with that thing. Anyways, Shakes, go ahead, make your point.
So for me the refereeing it was poor, like both for his game and even Manchester United's game, but that's not the issue. It's simple. Don't bother cry about the ref. We all know English referees are poor from the get-go. So even before you start a 90-minute match, you know that the refs are poor. So if a call goes against you in the game, you can't be surprised if they have been consistently doing that over the years. Also, since VAR has been implemented, they have been consistent in producing rubbish before our very eyes. Right? So why cry about it? No, I don't understand what Bones crying about. It's simple. All Arsenal had to do was take their chances. Take their chances in that first half, and the game would have been put to bed. Wolves would have literally probably gotten 6 love or 6-1 come the end of that match
All right,
if they had taken their
Shakes,
chances.
stick up in quickly. There is Mikhail in the comment section saying that situation like these why no English league referees make the World Cup fam. Disgrace.
Exactly.
Alright, no, hold on a second. 2018 World Cup was the first time in over 80 years that an English referee has never made the World Cup. So foolishness.
I wonder why.
Continue because we just dismantle that foolishness that he just posted. So continue with your point.
So the evidence is there where everybody ranks or rates English referees as the tourists all around top 5 leagues in the world, right? Just think about it. Even in the Champions League, you realize that you don't really get many English referees reffing the UEFA Champions League matches, apart from Anthony Taylor recently and Mark Clattenburg before him. All right, let me give you a spice boy. Mike Dean. Think about it. Mike Dean is the most controversial referee in England. You realize that Mike Dean don't ref in the UEFA Champions League?
Not even Europa League.
Not even the Europa League. Please.
Shake, so keep on going in and out.
I'm saying Mike Dean has not refed in the UEFA Champions League, right? And quote unquote, he's rated as the best or seen as the best because he gets the best matches in
Not
England.
necessarily. No, Shakes.
But Shakes.
Alright, Shakes, listen. The man that they rate as the best referee in England is actually Michael Oliver.
Yeah.
That is the man that they rate as the best.
Yes. Michael Oliver is the top ref in England. Yes.
But two, does Mike Dean have his UEFA license and his FIFA license?
Listen. If we're going to just talk about referees, let me just acknowledge how good Wolves were in this game, please. Because
that's what we're
nice.
Listen to me.
Hold on. We're not going to turn this into an English referee debate, right?
Yeah, because it's
going to discuss the matches and move on. So quickly finish up on the Arsenal match.
If Demon don't come at contact about Wolves good in that game. Wolves never good in that game.
Bones, no need to cry. No need to cry. I've already stated, don't blame the refs because you know that the refs are poor from the get-go. Before the whistle is blown, you know the refs are poor. So all you got to do is take your chances. If you took your chances in the match, you would have won the game. And you wouldn't have been down to 10 men and then 9 men.
Everybody know about, but no Demon.
Blame your team. Blame your team for not taking your chances.
Wolves played against 9 men for 20 minutes and still couldn't score a goal in the 20 minutes.
It doesn't matter. They still won the game.
What?
They still won the game.
Hold on, Bones. They're here saying that they couldn't score in the 20 minutes, but at the end of the day,
they won the game. Exactly.
But you know, but Demon come say how good Wolves were.
But you know, make me so messy. So for me, Wolves weathered the storm that they were going through from probably about the first 40 minutes until up to they weathered the storm. You didn't take your chances. That's not Wolves' fault. Zine? Then David Luiz kicked down the man.
The man not kicked nobody.
Listen.
Hold on, Bones. Let the man finish him point. The man stop interrupt the man.
Whether it was an accidental touch or not, he touched him and he fell. Running at pace, he's going to fall down. It was a penalty. Red card, and you can argue that all day, but it was a penalty. He was cleared through. Why would he drop himself? He was going to score. And then now, the second half, Wolves came out and they were playing because they were playing against 10 men. Wolves were dominant throughout the second half. And then Leno, I don't know what he was thinking trying to box the ball. Like, we have 50 million cameras.
One of the German young
50 million cameras.
Leave Leno.
No, Leno is not a youngster, Shakes. Fix up that statement. He's no youngster. Big man that's in a German ball game. I talk about young keepers in Germany, I talk about Schubert and them, man. So,
you have a lot of cameras seeing all of that, and he got another red card. And listen to me, you say Wolves were not, that goal by João Moutinho was fantastic, straight like an arrow, and the man them dominate the 9 men 1.5. So don't tell me the Wolves never good. There's no keeper saving that goal. And they won the game.
Arsenal could have easily gotten 2 points.
Shoulda, coulda.
Bones.
And Saka in the last couple minutes. Bullshit.
Enough of that now. Hold on, Pana Kerchief here. Wipe up your tears.
Exactly.
Pass on.
Enough
Next up,
crying.
we saw Newcastle back to regular programming, losing 2-1 to Crystal Palace. Jero, Witherall, and Gary Cahill getting the goals for them after John Shelby had given them the lead. But as I just mentioned, back to regular programming for Newcastle, they're become so used to losing, so nothing surprising.
Frank can look for a job again.
I probably might look for Heady out too. Who knows?
Who
But-
knows?
But nothing much there. Next up, we saw
Yes, man, them 2 goals, the Shelby goal and Reederval goals, special goals today, guys. Special goals.
it was a good match, man. I did watch it split screen with the United game. Trust me, it was an open match. Something not expected with these two teams. Trust me.
all right, and a match that some said was marred by controversy. Sure that a lot of United fans are very happy. Southampton getting 9
All right.
for the second time
I'll mute my mic.
in 2 seasons. Listen. Listen, over to you.
Go on,
Oh,
Jason.
me?
Go on.
Well, as I can see by my hashtag, you see it say United. This will be regarded as an anomaly. This is a freak result because I certainly didn't expect United to drop literal 9. Probably in the latter part when goals just started to flow, but I mean that I can't remember his name. He had a weird name. The guy who got the red card. He made his full debut today, and that must have been demoralizing for him. To get a red card in such quick fashion. I mean, in less than 2 minutes. And that changed the whole aspect for Southampton. Especially the point that I touched on earlier, the fact that they don't have the personnel on the bench to change much. So they pretty much had to work with whatever was on the field. I was surprised that once the scoreline got greater, that Hasenhuttl left on Danny Ings. I think it was an opportunity to take him off earlier. Why risk injury when you see, the capitulation coming? I didn't get that. But from United's perspective, I have to give our fullbacks praise. Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw had a monster of a game. Luke Shaw didn't have to do much defending. Wan-Bissaka made a tackle, and I think Danny Ings, which seemed like he looked like he had injured himself in the second half. But I have to give McTominay a shout out as well. He was good. Only to put Fred at left back. I mean that was a decision. That was a decision, but I mean I guess one that would be justified. But overall, we cut our goal differential to City to 5 now. And I just want to point out that for all of those persons who think that United are just a counter-attacking team, now I know that we've scored the most goals in the league this season, but United have also scored the most goals from open play, and that excludes goals from counter-attacks, set plays, and penalties. So I just wanted to point that out. But overall, it is a very good result, and we will take it. So over to you, Liverpool, tomorrow.
All right, before I move on any further, Demo, the producer said that the only reason that you pointed out that Newcastle goal was because Shelby was a Liverpool old boy. That's a funny bit. Just leave it at that. Okay, but Shakes, I'm sure that you're pretty much happy that Man United got that 9 goals to up the goal difference, beating up Liverpool B side. But we have a few matches to go to discuss for tomorrow. So the upcoming fixtures tomorrow, we'll see Burnley taking on Man City at 1 p.m. Let's see that's one going, Shakes. Quick and fast.
Sorry, which team is that?
Burnley against Man City.
Burnley Man City game? Oh boy. So I believe that the fact that Man U won this game today, I believe that Man City is going to want to come and respond. They don't want to slip up. So I'm going to go with a win for Man City. Listen, Man City just in brilliant form right now. I only see them losing significant form when they go over towards the Champions League and they have to be juggling with the Premier League and the Champions League if they play in a decent side. But for now, I believe that their midfield is in excellent form, right? They might not have a quote-unquote top striker right now because I don't consider Gabriel Jesus as a real striker, right? But they'll still find some way to break down Burnley. Yes, Burnley playing at home. I might give Burnley a goal as consolation, but Man City to get
Shakes,
about
cut to the chase quick and fast, man. Why you growing
four.
a beat around the bush? All right.
Man City to score four.
Let me give some stats to my viewers. Since 2018, Man City 4-1, draw 1-1, win 5-0. 2019 win 5-0, 2019 win 1-0. 2019 4-1, 2020 5-0. 2023 0 and November last year 5-0. So
Well, I guess my 4-1 is not a bad prediction then.
guess what? On the last three occasion, Burnley hasn't scored against them, man. And even more so, all on the Shakes, even more so with the City defense being so stingy. You expect Burnley to sneak one past them?
Yeah, man. As in on a set play, I believe they can get a one goal.
All right, boss, man.
I'm actually betting on City to win 8-0 tomorrow. Easy.
All right, okay, let's move on. Fulham taking on Leicester City. Well, Fulham can probably change their name to Draham because all the things Fulham knows to do is draw. Leicester back on the road, and we expect Leicester to rebound because Leicester away form has been superb this season. Do you agree with that, Jason?
For me, I guess Demo will probably jump out and say this is a part of the season when Brendan Rodgers starts to choke. So, no one expected that result against Leeds, and for me, I actually see a draw in this game. Take nothing away from Fulham; they have been playing brilliantly. The draws do not represent the performances that they have put in, and I think we're probably in for a shock tomorrow.
Fulham need to stop shopping at Victoria's Secret, man.
remember, there's no Jamie Vardy, you know.
Especially if Vardy don't play, this I think it's going to be the draw actually.
All right, next up we'll see Leeds United taking on Everton. Everton with that hot and cold season. Leeds likewise. Bones, you're Everton fan-ish, so
things not going well. I'm going for Leeds to win this one 2-1.
Alright, I expect Everton to turn that around tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Listen, Everton needs some goals, right, Levon? Everton needs some goals. So if you can't score goals against Leeds, come on. What you doing?
But them need goals, but would I did say that against?
But nothing, man. But nothing.
Yeah.
Stop trying to look. You see, you're scratching your head. You can't find nothing.
But Shakes, you're saying all that, but you know that to me, Everton has missed Alan a lot. Alan keep that midfield ticking, man, and since Alan has been out, they're just been downhill. But
James doesn't defend, you know.
Yeah, man, we know that.
You know, as I say, James, 20 seconds. I was telling somebody this week that James Rodriguez, to me, isn't that prime signing that Everton needed.
Stick a pin. I thought James was the best signing for the summer. What all the hype? What happened?
I didn't say that, Demo. Probably Levon said it. I didn't say it. That I probably Levon said it, but that
man, don't mix me in your madness here.
But yeah, but to be honest, he hasn't been the prime signing that Everton needed this season. To be honest about it. Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to a fixture that will surely have a lot of interest. I expect attacking football in this one tomorrow. Aston Villa against West Ham. Shakes.
All right, so yeah, West Ham definitely will want to rebound. We know Aston Villa on form already. For me, Jack Grealish, man, I wish I had him in my team. That man can float past any defender. He literally has no skill. But you see, the way he shifts the football, he beats everybody, right? So I expect more of that come tomorrow. When I watch Aston Villa, I just simply watch Jack Grealish to play football, right? Yeah, that's one English baller that I rate right now. Yes, in terms of up and coming ballers, because he's not the finished article. Yes, so I don't fight out every English baller. But if someone try to rebound, they were timid in that game against Liverpool. The commentators even said it that when Dawson scored that goal, oh, why didn't they try to come out and play, especially because it was nearly at halftime, so they were still in the match. But anyway, I expect a high scoring match. I'm going to go with West Ham. They were in good form before that Liverpool game, but I'm gonna go with a 3-3 draw for that match.
Messi Lingard to score.
Or Lingardinho.
All right. Our final fixture of the midweek, we'll see Liverpool taking on Brighton at Anfield. Demo.
Respect the champions. And just for this, until James Rodriguez gets back on form, I start calling him James Rodriguez and James Milner, because James is dynamic right now. James Milner is the man on form, and now it is James Milner and James Rodriguez. All right. So for this game, I heard Klopp, and he was saying that Kabak and Davies might actually be in for a show to start this game. And for me, I just cannot see why Nat Phillips deserve to be dropped, but it's looking likely. Brighton, they have Lallana back, and Lallana was good when he came on for them in the last game. And they play. We always say Brighton plays well. They play good football. They always do it, and they just need to put the ball in the back of the net most of the times. I'm not sure if Lamptey will be back for that game, but he has been a miss for them. And I remember the first leg that they could have probably had us down 3-0 in the first half when we played against them, and that game ended 1-1. I think Marpe missed a penalty in that game, and yeah, they had a number of chances. But with the resurgence of Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, the king of Egypt, continuing to bag goals, I expect him to come good, and I'm expecting Liverpool to win this game, because after that Anfield shock at Burnley, when Burnley came there, I'm expecting nothing less than a win, and I'm expecting Liverpool to come out and dominate the game at home and win that game. We're going to concede, but we're going to win the game. Thiago on fire, Salah on fire. I'm not sure who's going to start because Mane is not supposed to be fit, but we should have enough to win that game against Brighton. So I'm going to go probably 3-1 to Liverpool.
All right, so that is a roundup on the fixtures. Now I'm going to go into some transfer news. I'm just going to run through every team.
Hold on, hold on. Chelsea now play Tottenham.
Yeah, man. Are you don't count? You don't count them two teams.
The big game.
That's a Thursday.
That was the big game.
Thursday, man. Thursday.
That's a Thursday, yeah.
Yeah.
I was planning on just reviewing that match tomorrow, since there's some fixtures will be played tomorrow, because we'll be having an next show tomorrow. So that's the reason why I just left it for that.
Okay. I thought you were missing Jose.
No, man. I planned to, man. I just left it for tomorrow, man. So Arsenal transfer happenings. They brought in Omar Rekik from Hertha Berlin, Matt Ryan from Brighton on loan, and Martin Odegaard from Real Madrid on loan. They got rid of some dead weight, in which I'm sure Bones will be happy about. Kolasinac to Schalke on loan, Saliba to Nice on loan.
That is good.
Socrates released.
That is really
Mesut Ozil contract terminated.
that kind
Signed
of
for Fenerbahce. Skrijan Mustafi back to Schalke.
that is brilliant.
Maitland Niles to West Brom on loan, and Joe Willock to Newcastle on loan.
Lord Jesus, God is so amazing.
And after
Man,
all of
dramatic
that,
fail,
Arsenal lose.
But all right, what would you rate a window out of 10, Bones?
Out
Quickly.
of 10, I expected that Arsenal would have done enough not getting in players. What I wanted was to get rid of players, free up the wage bill for summer, and that's exactly what they did. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10. Honestly, they got rid of some players who were just really carrying heavyweights in the team.
Yeah.
Two of those players were very controversial in Papa and Ozil. They were the ringleaders behind the outburst in the training grounds and all of these things.
Quickly,
So
Bones.
yeah, so I'll give it a 10 out of 10 because they did what I wanted them to do.
Just before you go, it's reported that the wage bill was a whopping 750K a week that they release. With all the players gone, them release 700.
Yeah, man, because remember, I said Ozil alone I take up 350K per week.
Exactly. So a good 10 out of 10 for real.
Yeah.
All right. Aston Villa now, they only brought in Morgan Sanson because, to be honest, they never really needed anybody. They let go Conor Warhan. He has gone to Swansea and he has started life very well for Swansea. Scored twice for them already. Swansea second in the championship, doing well. And they also got rid of Henry Lansbury and Frederick Goodibert.
Listen, based on last season. Oh, I was going to say for Aston Villa, based on last season, they basically exceeded expectation. So they're just working with what they have because it's going well. Why change something that is working well?
Agreed upon. Right now, they finally brought in Moses Castillo, a player that I'm sure that Jason might quite know well because he was on the radar of quite a few teams.
Jason went all the way to South America to scout that young man.
Trust me.
But yeah, Brighton finally brought him in and they got rid of Glenn Murray. So nothing much to discuss about them. Burnley again. Didn't do any business in this window. That is one of the teams that I'm scratching my head because they're struggling and not bringing anyone. Yes, they're probably waiting until summer with the new owners in place. Chelsea now on the other hand. Danny Drinkwater gone to a team down in Turkey. Kasim Pasa on loan. Piatson finally leaving them after so many years. And Baba Rahman to Payak. Tomori gone to AC Milan on loan with option to buy. Crystal Palace now, they brought in Mainz marksman Jean-Philippe Mateta. Hasn't started for them as yet, but he's a player that I expect to come good for them because he plays very well. He's the type of player that will find spaces and he's a decent striker. They got rid of Max Meyer off the wage bill because that was one of the players that were holding up a lot of space on their wage bill. So they finally got rid of him and he signed for Cologne. Everton, they did the last day business and they brought in Joshua King, a man that was in demand on the last day of the transfer window because first year that he was going to Fulham, next year that he was going to Everton, but he ended up going to Everton. Everton on the other hand, they got rid of Yannick Bolasie finally to Middlesbrough, Jonas Loso to Midtjylland, Ching Tussen to Besiktas on loan, John Jokini to Celtic on loan. Fulham got in Josh Maha, as I mentioned earlier in the program. They got rid of Stefan Johansson to QPR on loan, Anthony Nakar to Nottingham Forest on loan, Abubakar Kamara to Dian, and Jean-Michael Seri, a disappointing player because when the player came over to England, we expected a lot from him, but nothing came of him.
Expected him to take off.
Yeah, because remember that even Barca was after him at the time. He has now gone to Bordeaux.
They likened that player to Kante when he was coming over.
Maxime Lemarchand has gone to Royal Antwerp and Neeson Skebana to Middlesbrough. Leeds now, they didn't have anybody to bring in. They didn't really send out anybody as well. Leicester, likewise, they only sent out Filip Benkovic to a side in Belgium. Demar Gray leaving them finally to Bayer Leverkusen. Hope he get a lease of life over there because he's a player that I think has decent potential and hopefully,
I agree.
hopefully he'll come along. Liverpool now. They brought in the relatively unknown to some fans, Ben Davies from Preston North End, a player that was on the cusp of joining Celtic in the summer, but Liverpool stooped in and they got him for 2 mil. A player that literally hated Liverpool in the past. So they have signed him and this is the one that has Demo scratching his head and he's somewhat thinking, why did we go for this man? Because he's ranked one of the worst players in Bundesliga. Ozan Kabak. They brought him in for Schalke on loan with option to buy. He's ranked as the worst centre back in the Bundesliga currently. He was at Stuttgart last season. Seriously.
Klopp is going to work wonders, man. He's a miracle worker.
He's 20 years old, man.
He's young. Yeah, he's young.
Listen. Man City, they didn't brought in anybody. Then, before I move on, Liverpool got rid of Sepp van der Berg to Preston on loan, and also Minamino to Liverpool B.
Yeah.
As you know, that is Southampton. Man City now they sent Taylor Arwood Bellis, a player that I know that one of our viewers, that is Tyrese, love this player a lot. Gone to Blackburn on loan to join up with Harvey Elliott. Patrick Roberts to Derby. Manchester United only brought in Amad Diallo, as a lot of people already know, but they got rid of quite a few players in which they have terminated Marcus Rojo contract. He has now signed for Boca Juniors. Teddy Mingi has gone to Derby on loan. Facundo Pelestri has gone to Alaves. Chang loan was cancelled from Werder Bremen. He's now at Club Brugge. Lingard to West Ham. Fuso Mensah has signed for Bayer Leverkusen. And Ethan Laird has gone to MK Dons on loan. Newcastle, they needed more than this, but they only brought in Joe Willock from Arsenal, a player that won't even get much game time for them. I don't know why they go for him.
Brilliant signing.
They have gotten rid of Rolando Aarons, who was being linked to Jamaica. He's now at Huddersfield, and DeAndre Yedlin, who has gone to Galatasaray. Sheffield United, they didn't do any business much. Southampton, as I mentioned, they just brought in Minamino, Valerie gone to Birmingham, and Shane Lang to Bournemouth. Tottenham didn't do any business, then they just got rid of some relatively unknown players. Only player of any known quantity was Paulo Gazzaniga, gone to Elche on loan. West Brom, no, they did quite a business. They brought in Snodgrass from West Ham. They brought in Liverpool backup keeper last season, Lonergan. They also brought in Mbai Diane from Galatasaray on loan. They also brought in OK Yokoslo from Celta Vigo and Ainsley Maitland-Niles from Arsenal.
Good signing. Good signing.
West Ham, they brought in Frederick Alves from Silkeborg, and they signed Benrahma permanently now and Lingard on loan. Wolves now, the only business was William Oze on loan from Real Sociedad, and that was it for the transfer word.
Who signed Lingard? Who signed the dancer?
West Ham.
Okay.
But
West
guys,
Ham wanting to score goals, man.
that was the transfer business. And Dimo, how would you rate your window out of 10? Quickly.
Listen, I at the start of January, they were crying out for a centre back, the fans, and Michael Edwards did some magic, pulling off two, not just one, but two, and he didn't even have to spend over 5 mil. And we got them on loan. Like I said, for me, I've seen Kabak live a couple of times, and he looks absolutely dreadful. I think Klopp can work with him, I guess. I don't know, but to me, Nat Phillips better than him. So I'm going to say, because of the desperation and the desperate times that Liverpool were in terms of a centre back, and seeing that we need our midfielders back in midfield, Henderson more so, I would say that we get probably a 9 out of 10. Kabak wouldn't be my first, and I don't know anything about Davis, so I'll probably say 9 out of 10. We also got a goalkeeper too.
10 seconds. 10 seconds, Demo. I thought that Liverpool made a mistake not getting Mustafi, who is experienced. And would have brought his experience. All right, forget his rubbish.
You're just trying to bring coronavirus to the man team.
He is experienced and
okay, Bones, your 10 seconds has passed. Jason, quickly, out of 10 United window.
I'll give United that 8. Diallo by himself is a 4. Diallo by himself make 4 out of 8. We did well to get a lot of our youngsters out on loan, which is something that they haven't been great at, as well as getting rid of Marcus Rojo, as well as Lingard. I gave them an 8 because one point to be taken off for the players that they did not remove, like Romero and Phil Jones, as well as another one for the players that they did not sign, like Caicedo. And I believe they need a right back, because if something happens to Wan-Bissaka now, I don't know Tuanzebe as an auxiliary.
Brendan Williams is there, man. What are you worried about? The man saying don't send out Brendan Williams because of that. But wrap up, Jason, quick.
Yeah, I give them an 8. An 8 from me.
Okay, so guys, we have come to the end of the show, and it was once again a very good show. Bones, who popped up late because he was crying a lot of tears. Demo, as he's been referred to as the cool cat of the show. Jason, thanks once again for being here. Shakes, the rather controversial figure, tonight was alright. Didn't do much controversial sayings, but once again, thanks to our viewers. And much respect again to our producer, Josh Carlo, who makes this possible. And I'm not stopping until it finally happened. Anthony Butler, link the man. The man if it up on the payroll. So guys, thanks again for tuning in. Big up to our sponsor, Let's Care Medical, and their CEO Shakes for sponsoring the show. And guys, just look forward to the next show tomorrow. It promises to be a very interesting and entertaining one. Just stay tuned, man. And once tomorrow, please, I beg you, at least 50 viewers. At some point tonight, we saw we got 30, so tomorrow we need 50.
If Liverpool lose, they're gonna get 50.
Something special is in the offering. Just stay tuned, man. No worries. Just stay tuned. Until then, peace out. Take care of yourself.
Bless
I
up, my
would have,
bless.
I would have bones. I would have.